My name is Jenna McDonough, and I'm an Awakenpedia partner. I specialize in meditation, mindfulness, breath work, sound healing, energy healing, emotional intelligence for both kids and adults with a strong focus on trauma sensitivity. My journey began early on when I went away to college. I just felt called to find something to help me be still and to find inner peace. And I found that in yoga, and I started taking yoga pretty consistently. By the time I graduated from college, I became an elementary school teacher, and I was practicing 7 days a week. At that point, it was suggested to me I might be interested in becoming a yoga instructor, and that's what I did. So when I became a yoga instructor and went through that process, it changed everything for me. I really honed in on meditation, and I taught predominantly the physical practice of yoga, but I always felt more comfortable and called to meditation. So I continued to teach yoga to both children and adults throughout my journey until I had my own children. At that point, I stepped away from both the classroom and also from teaching yoga. And as my children got older, I fell into some other businesses, including beauty education. And within my beauty education business, I found two things. One was that people were constantly trying to compensate for what was going on internally with the external, what they could control. So they were coloring their hair, or doing a laser, or whatever it may be. But really what I found was they needed to deal with what they were struggling with internally instead of trying to do what they could control, which was the external. Additionally, I went to a spa as part of that business, and I had my first exposure to sound healing. Sound healing changed everything for me. I loved it so much. It was so easy to drop in with meditation, and it really opened up a whole new world. And that was when I decided to go back and really go in depth and learn meditation and how to teach meditation to other people, and also how to better facilitate meditation and how to use it to move stuck energy through trauma. So that was my big thing that I got into. I took 1 million sound healing courses because I was just so interested in sound healing and learning all about it and being the best sound healer I could be. I also became a Reiki master, and I wanted to find a way to kind of incorporate all of these modalities so I could be of service to others. So I started working with adults, and I have several opportunities that I offer. My signature offering is my private sound bath experience. This isn't just a sound bath, this is a meditation sound bath. So we begin with my trauma-sensitive approach, where we make sure that you understand what could happen and that you have tools to help you if something does come up for you and you have a trauma that gets pressed on. So that's how we start, and then we do a meditation. Following the meditation, we do a sound healing experience. And then to bring you out of the experience, we go back to meditation, and I take you out of the meditation gradually. You sit for a few minutes, and if you feel called, we can talk about what came up for you during that experience. Now, I offer these as one session, and I offer these as one session, and I do those predominantly with a balancing of the chakras. So we go through and see where you have movement, maybe you have a little stuck energy or blockages, and we really open all the chakras, get them aligned, and get them in balance. I also offer this as a series. So within the series, I like to do it with the Wheel of Life. So we look at the Wheel of Life that I created specifically for my clients. It's 10 different areas of your life. We give them an evaluation, and then each week we go through each area on the Wheel of Life, find out what causes you stress, what you'd like to make better, and we come up with tools and techniques to integrate into your daily life so that you can, and we pair this with a meditation and or sound bath and some energy healing. So we really integrate it during the session, and then you go out in the world and you start using these tools and techniques within that area of your life. Now, once we finish these sessions, usually 12, you'll feel more balanced, you'll have tools for every aspect of your life, and hopefully you'll be living a life marked by peace and presence. I also offer the Wheel of Life with meditation. I teach clients how to meditate, how to integrate meditation practices into their lives. And these are all opportunities for adults. But I also work with children. When I work with children, I primarily work with children who are in transition years, in their junior or senior year of high school, or going from 5th grade to middle school in that 6th grade age range, or from 8th grade going into high school in the 9th grade age range. I like to work with juniors and seniors in high school while they prepare for the college process, or if they're younger, while they're preparing to go into the next phase of education and learning. But the big one is when they're leaving either to go to college or start a job or a career or a life, and giving them tools and techniques for handling all of that. Because I personally struggled when I left for college, feeling very lost, not knowing how to handle things, and having been a highly sensitive child myself, I feel like this is really important to teach children emotional regulation, and it's something I'm very passionate about. So I work with these students throughout their junior year, helping them to decide what it is they're looking for in a college experience, so that they're not necessarily saying, I want to go to this specific college, but they're looking for, what does it look like? What does it feel like? What do they have there? And this is also going to help them so when they get into college or they get that rejection letter, it's not the end of the world. They've prepared themselves emotionally for these things. There's also accountability components as well. And it's just a great program, and I love working with these children and helping them become their best selves as they go on to the next chapter of life. Additionally, I work with children and parents to help them integrate different tools into their daily lives. So starting with a morning or an evening routine, helping them use somatic resets, breath work, meditation, mindfulness activities during transitions, helping them to lay the foundation for all of these practices so that down the road they can start to identify emotions. And once they've identified these emotions, giving them tools and techniques to use when these emotions arise. This is something I'm really passionate about, and that is my mission. My mission is for us to live our best and most peaceful lives. My mission is to help as many people as possible to live their best, most peaceful and present lives. And this starts with our youngest generation. So I'm really passionate about, and it is my mission to help parents and children learn emotional regulation, because we're so busy teaching kids about the ABCs and math and pushing them in sports and art and all the things, but we're not teaching them what their emotions mean and how to handle them when they present. And what a better world we would live in if more people had learned these tools when they were younger. That way, when they get older, they are more apt to respond rather than react, which would make the world a much nicer place to live in. So my mission is to make the world a nicer, kinder place, one meditation at a time. And that's the one thing that I tell everyone when they talk to me about what it is I do: meditation. So at the end of the day, the most important thing that I always strive for is for people to start a meditation practice, because there is research that shows if you meditate daily for 8 weeks or 56 days in a row, if you took an MRI of your brain at the beginning of that time, and then you took an MRI at the end of the 8 weeks, you would see changes to the gray matter in your brain. You would see a reduction in the amygdala, which is where you experience worry and stress. And you would see growth in the gray areas of your brain that help with focus, control, all of the good things. So that's why I'm so passionate about meditation. And it's not a one-size-fits-all approach, and it doesn't have to be every single day sitting and thinking about nothing. And I think that's the most important thing to understand. So I would love to have you come and join me for a session, whether it be learning to meditate, one of my signature sound bath experiences, helping you relieve stuck energy in your body. Maybe you have trauma that you need to help restore movement to that energy in your body before it manifests in a physical way. So please reach out. I'd love to work with you. I would love to be of service to you and share the things that I genuinely love.